In this week's Pasha, we read, "These are the names of the children of Israel who came to Egypt." Rashi notes that the Torah had already listed these names earlier in Parshas Vayigash, using almost the same words. Why repeat them? Rashi explains that the repetition is an expression of love. Hashem counts the Jewish people again and again because they are dear to him, just as he counts the stars when they emerge and when they disappear. As the verse says, he who brings out their hosts by number, referring to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The comparison is exact. Stars shine most brightly in darkness, and so do Jews. Throughout the darkness of Gullus, Jews have continued to shine through modesty, compassion, and kindness, through charity and goodness, through Torah and holiness. The Gemara in Shabbos 133b teaches on the verse zt'l vanvehu, "This is my God and I will beautify him." The song sung by the Jews at Kriyas Yamsuf refers to beautifying mitzvahs, a beautiful sukkah, a beautiful lulav, a beautiful shofar, a beautiful sefer Torah. But Abba Shaul teaches that vanvehu can be read as ani v'hu, he and I. Just as Hashem is compassionate and merciful, so too must we be compassionate and merciful. The Maharsha explains that these two teachings are not contradictory, but complementary. It's not enough to beautify mitzvahs externally. One must also adorn oneself internally with refined midos, integrity, goodness, and compassion. Throughout history, despite suffering and humiliation, Jews have continued to shine. Yes, there are moments when individuals fail, and when that happens, the shame is deep. That shame itself reveals something essential. Wrongdoing feels foreign to who we are. Bashfulness is a Jewish trait. Just as in Egypt there were dozen Avirams, yet they never defined the nation, so too in every generation. Even in darkness, the Jewish people shine like stars. When Moshe Rabbeinu first encountered Hashem at the Sneh, the burning bush, he was charged with redeeming the Jewish people. But Moshe hesitated. He doubted whether the people were ready, whether they were worthy, whether they would believe him. They wouldn't even listen to him. Hashem responded, "Ma zeh biyadecha? What is that in your hand?" Moshe answered that it was a mateh, a staff. Hashem told him to throw it to the ground, and it turned into a snake, frightening Moshe. Then he was told to grab it, and it became a staff again. Next, Hashem instructed Moshe to place his hand into his cloak. When he removed it, it was stricken with saras, white as snow. He was told to place it back again, and when he did, it was healed completely. Hashem explained that even if the people would not be affected by the first sign, they would certainly believe after the second sign. Rashi explains that this was meant to teach the people that Moshe himself had been punished for speaking negatively about them. To say that the Jewish people are unworthy of redemption or that they would not believe in Hashem's Shaliach is a form of Lashon Hara. When the people would hear that Moshe had been punished for this, they would be convinced. They would recognize who they truly are, the children of Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, beloved and dear to the Eibishter, capable of shining like stars. There is a nuance in the verse Ma zeh biyadecha. It is read as two words, Ma and Zeh, but written as one, Ma zeh. Rashi reads this one word as mizeh, from this, teaching that Moshe was punished with the staff for suspecting innocent people. But the Pri Eliyahu offers another interpretation. Mazeh can mean to sprinkle, just as the waters of the Parah Adumah are sprinkled to purify one from the deepest impurity. So too the Jewish people, even when mired in the harshest tumah, can be purified, elevated, and sanctified. Hashem was telling Moshe, if you think the people are too entrenched in slavery, too distant to be redeemed, then mazeh biyadecha, sprinkle upon them, purify them, teach them, strengthen them, instill within them a new spirit. Perhaps this explains why after Kriyas Yamsuf, after the people reached the level of they believed in Hashem and Moshe his servant, Hashem gave them the mitzvah of Parah Adumah at Marah. As Rashi explains on Sham Sam Lo Chok Mishpat, they were shown how quickly one can rise from the 49th level of impurity to the greatest heights of holiness, to revelation, to song, to proclaim Ze Keli V'Anvehu. To bring the people to that level required Aharon. Aharon HaKohen is the one who sprinkles, who loves peace, pursues peace, and brings people close to Torah. That is why Hashem reassured Moshe, when you return to Egypt, you will meet Aharon. He is coming out to greet you, and when he sees you, he will rejoice in his heart. The Gemara in Chagiga 5a tells us something remarkable. Rabbi Yochanan would weep when he reached the verse in Koheles, for Hashem will bring every deed into judgment, concerning every hidden thing, whether good or evil. At first glance, the verse seems to speak about sin, but Rabbi Yochanan understood that it speaks about hidden good, good that was sincere and pure, but was never fully expressed. Rabbi Yehuda Leib Chasman Zatzal explains that Rabbi Yochanan read the story of Aharon through this lens. Aharon felt no jealousy, although he was the older brother and had served for decades as the Jews' leader and Navi. His heart was completely pure. The Torah itself teaches that he was happy that Moshe was being designated as the leader. And yet, Chazal in Vayikra Rabbah teach that had Aaron known that the Torah would record that he rejoiced at the moment that he greeted Moshe, he would have gone out to greet Moshe with drums and dancing. His joy was real, but it remained inward, belibo, within his heart. Aaron was not judged for wrongdoing. He was measured against what could have been, against a fuller expression of joy that might have entered the world. That is why Rabbi Yochanan cried, not out of despair, but out of awe. If a figure as exalted as Aaron HaKohen could be held to account for a joy not fully expressed, then the path of spiritual greatness is measured with extraordinary precision. Even hidden good is weighed. And yet, within those tears lies encouragement. The Torah is not condemning Aaron. It is teaching us how greatness is refined, how inner goodness is meant to overflow into action. And so the message is clear and timeless. When Jews greet their brothers who have returned from an exile, from distance, from spiritual wandering, it is not enough to be happy in our hearts. We must greet them with warmth, with visible joy, with celebration, with drums, with dance, because Jews are stars. Shabbat Shalom.